trustees, platform guests, faculty, staff, friends, family, and most importantly, graduates. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Northwest College's 2016 commencement exercises. Please remain standing as the Northwest Graduation Brass Ensemble plays our national anthem.
Please be seated. On behalf of the Northwest College Board of Trustees, I welcome you to these commencement exercises. I am John Housel of Cody, and I am privileged and honored to serve this year as President of the Board of Trustees of Northwest College. And now I first wish to introduce my colleagues and fellow members of the Board of Trustees. They are Nada Larson. She is our Vice President and Secretary from Meeteetse. Paul Fees. Paul is our Treasurer. He is from Cody. And we also have with us here today Trustee Carolyn Danko of Powell, and Dr. Mark Wurzel, Trustee from Powell. Thank you. All of our trustees are strong supporters of Northwest College, and they all represent very well the Northwest College District. As trustees, we extend our very best wishes to you, graduates of Northwest College, and also to your friends and to your families who join us here today. I now reintroduce our President of Northwest College, Dr. Stephanie Hickswa.
Thank you, Mr. Housel and members of the Board of Trustees. The college is indeed fortunate to have a board who are so deeply committed to the success and well-being of our students. The direction of the board is appreciated by the college community. The board's commitment augments the college's strengths, the talents of our faculty and staff, and the excellent education that our students receive. It is my pleasure to now introduce my colleagues, the college vice presidents. Dr. Jerry Girard, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Interim Vice President for Student Services. Mr. Mark Kitchen, Vice President for College Relations. And Ms. Lisa Watson, Vice President for Administrative Services. I am also pleased to introduce Ms. Kay Dooley of Powell and Ms. Wendy Sweeney of Worland. They are members of the Wyoming Community College Commission. Kay, Wendy, and their fellow commissioners do important work to coordinate Wyoming's community colleges and advocate on their behalf. I will introduce other honored guests in a moment. The Northwest College community remembers 3 former Board of the Trustee members who passed away this past year. Longtime Cody resident Paul James represented his constituents on the board for 13 years after his initial election in 1977, including serving as the board's treasurer. He died last August. Jim Vogt, whose 30-year work history at Northwest College included serving as the Student Center Director, the bookstore manager, a math instructor, Student Senate advisor, and assistant track coach. After his retirement for the college, Jim served 11 years as a trustee, including the election as board president and Wyoming Association of Community College Trustees president. He also passed away this past August. Brent Walker served 1 term on the Board of Trustees starting in 1998. His Northwest connection also included 6 years on NWC's Alumni Association Board of Directors, where he served as president. A retired 30-year principal of Powell's Westside Elementary School, Brent died at his home this April. Please join me in a moment of silence as we remember Paul, Jim, and Brent and their contributions to the college and its governing board. Thank you. I dedicate this ceremony in their memory. Graduates, I'm proud of all that you've accomplished to be here today. As you know, a degree or certificate is imperative in today's economy. Post-secondary educational opportunities close the gap for finding and keeping a good job. Having a degree from Northwest College will make a difference in your future and improve the quality of your life for the long term. In the words of Dick Costello, believe that if you make courageous choices and bet on yourself, you will have an impact as a result of what you do. Since you are receiving your diploma today, I want to challenge you to commit to helping other students on the path to completing their degrees. You never know the impact that you may have on others. You are setting the example for all of your other classmates by sitting in front of me this morning. All of the hard work that has brought you here today can make a difference in another student's future. Graduates, it's important that you not dwell on the past nor obsess about the future, but to live in the present and always remember to pay it forward. Today is a significant milestone in your life. Your hard work and determination have indeed paid off. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to recognize some truly special people. Graduates, not one of you came here today without help. Help from mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters, your children, your grandparents, uncles, aunts, pardon me, friends, and other loved ones. Pardon me. Would all who fit into these support categories please stand and be recognized? Graduates seated behind you in the audience are faculty and staff of Northwest College. These hardworking individuals are your source of knowledge, instruction, support, guidance, and inspiration. They make learning come alive, and they help you to prosper. They share in the joys of your success and are glad to have been a part of your development and growth. Faculty and staff of Northwest, wherever you are in the gymnasium, please rise so that we may thank you as well. I am now pleased to introduce the Faculty Organization's Distinguished Faculty Service Award recipient, Mr. Steve Tulin, Professor of History. Mr. Tulin will speak on behalf of the faculty.
Good morning, class of 16, families, friends, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, and staff of Northwest College. Many years ago, I stood right here speaking on behalf of our faculty. Back then, I didn't need these glasses, and I also didn't need the big print. I'm going to take this off because I find it hard even to read this with that tassel right in front of me. When I spoke years ago, I was reasonably optimistic, and it was on the occasion of the 200th anniversary of the first year of Thomas Jefferson's presidency. Some of you may have heard of Thomas Jefferson. I spoke then of his vision, something that this now more than matured historian rather still enjoys doing on occasion. All these years later, in what are clearly now troubled times for our state, I look out at all of your faces, many of which I have seen in my classes. Some of you will admit that eventually. I also see behind you my colleagues, the faculty and the staff, and I am so proud of all of you. But I also know that on this day in which we do celebrate your achievement, you graduating students, many of us sitting in this room are anxious about what are important and impending and very difficult decisions. It took me a long time to decide what to say here today. I had wondered if I would return to the philosophies, the comfortable philosophies of Thomas Jefferson, who saw public education, the very thing you have experienced, as the foundation of what was at that time a very young republic, a republic we still have. Perhaps I thought that would be the source of some sort of challenge I might issue to this class of 16. But my mind kept going instead to the foundation of this college itself and the philosophies of the generation of the men and the women who established this college and who shaped this institution. I am a historian. Some of you know that, so please bear with me. I want to talk about them. I want to speak of what were their ideas as the source of answers to challenges that we and you now face. Their names are on buildings everywhere on this campus, Sinclair Orendorff especially, about whom I will speak. You've all been to the Orendorff building. Sometimes we call it the Orb. John DeWitt, your student center, is named after him. Dan Oliver, the welding shop, is named after him. Bob Fagerberg, the business and ag people, are in there. Hank Cabry, you're in that building right now. Some of you may have made it to the building that was named after John Hinckley, the library. We don't have any buildings with the names of the women of those foundational years on any buildings, and maybe we should. They were also crucial to the work of those times. I had the good fortune to meet and work with many of them: Josephine DeWitt, Winifred Wasden, Charlotte Patrick, Sandra Tolman, Helen Johnston, so many, many others. All of those men and all of those women were part of a generation that I'm going to ask you not to forget. Don't dwell on the past, but please don't forget them. There are things worth remembering. They had a vision of a better future that is still worth your consideration. They are a generation that is rapidly now disappearing, but some of them are still around to inform us of their values that mattered so much then and now. Some of them you can still thank for what they did. These early foundational leaders of our college, like especially the near legendary, and I would add for those of you who knew him, the ever so rascally Sinclair Orendorff, had fought their way. This is serious stuff. They fought their way across Nazi-occupied Europe. They stormed islands in the Pacific. They saw horrific, terrible struggle. They witnessed the awful depths to which the human condition can fall. Their families and their loved ones on the home front committed their every moment, their every ounce of energy to the cause of a nation and a world in crisis. They came home victorious. They defeated fascism, they defeated militarism, genocide, utter fear. And they came home to build an America that, as Jefferson had outlined, there I am, I'm back on Jefferson, as Jefferson had outlined long before, would feature the idea of an educated citizenry as the basis of liberty. They knew that democracy was not just some ideological platitude. They had worked together, that generation, no matter what their political parties, no matter what their faiths, they had worked together. And they had learned to solve problems as teams. Nothing quite like storming the cliffs on Normandy to learn how to work as a team. They had seen the Great Depression. They knew what ignorance and poverty, they knew what intolerance could produce. Some of them had seen Dachau. Those men and those women who shaped this college did not come from the ranks of wealth and privilege. They were hardworking, middle and working class people like you. Many of them were veterans of our wars who earned their own college credentials because of something revolutionary called the GI Bill of Rights. And all over America, they and that generation of men and women dramatically expanded that Jeffersonian vision. Jefferson never imagined we could educate so many people. He was hoping for a few good ones. But they had a vision of educating everybody. And that's quite American, quite uniquely American. talked about. It had been the type of learning that only rich people got because their families could afford to send them to the very best places. Jefferson believed in the kind of learning you got. Even his own political nemesis, his arch enemy, John Adams, our second president, whom Jefferson defeated to become the occupant of the White House, even he saw, along with Jefferson, what had to be the soul of a truly educated citizen. Now brace yourselves, graduates. This is what you have heard us call general education. It's also been called a well-rounded education. John Adams liked that phrase. Brace yourself, some people called it a liberal education, although I would suggest we run the risk of true misunderstanding now with the connotations of some of those words in recent times. But although Jefferson was a Democratic Republican, yes, that was a word, it was hyphenated in his day, and Adams was a Federalist, and on so many issues they were mortal foes, it seems, at least until Adams' wife, Abigail Adams, fooled them both into realizing that they should restore their friendship. They did not disagree on the nature of a good education. As graduates of Northwest College, you are all about to possess degrees that all have as common core elements of such an education those very things that Jefferson and Adams agreed upon. Some of you did not like it. You held your noses as you, quote, got it out of the way. Some of you may have actually enjoyed some of those classes. But I ask you to remember the men and the women who built this place so that it would be here decades later when you arrived. And I ask that you understand what I will call the wisdom of those people who also fought, many of whom died, to preserve the very framework of freedom that community college students like you still enjoy. I would suggest, especially, that a man like Sinclair Orendorff, whose building you have walked through many, many times, I'm sure, knew a little something. I dedicate this moment, which is, of course, in its entirety dedicated to you, but I dedicate this moment where I am concerned, where I have the honor to speak for our faculty. I dedicate this moment to that man, Sinclair Orendorff, who in retirement became my friend. He had retired before I got here, but he started showing up to talk to me. He still speaks eloquently to the issues that concern some of us here today. He isn't here today. He wasn't able to be, but he is watching us now on Northwest College television. I was sent a message just before we arrived. I would like to ask you all to give a round of applause to Sinclair Orendorff at this very moment. He is a self-described but very genuine Okie. Some of you who took American history classes might know what an Okie is. They were poor, very much hit by the Great Depression. But as a young soldier, having fought his way across Nazi-occupied Europe, he was wounded several times. He returned to the United States, one of those people who had his GI Bill of Rights. He earned eventually a PhD in physics. Physics, an Okie with a degree in physics. He taught physics before he came to us. Even as president of Northwest College, for 22 years, he taught the occasional math class. Another one of those general ed things that some of you might not have liked. In January of next year, it will be 50 years since he arrived to take the helm of our college. As a physicist, though, he was, and he remains, a man of the classics. He's a man of the arts. of the humanities, along with the sciences. He actually embodies what Jefferson thought the educated citizen would be. He embodies that vision of a somewhat grizzled but well-schooled rural citizen. As such, he came to Northwest in 1967 to, in effect, rescue us. We were in trouble then. From our unfortunate, what we'll call probationary status with what was our accreditation agency. We were in real trouble in 1966 going into 1967. Sinclair Orendorff put us back on firm foundations. He essentially rebuilt this college. He was certainly not perfect. Those of us who know him know he wasn't perfect, but he would be the first one to tell you the stories of his misadventures. Always with a twist and always with, I can't use the actual language, but a certain grin as he tells it. But he was, and he is, to this day, genuine, and had what at least one historian described as an aspect of Franklin Roosevelt's personality as president of our country. He had, and he still has, what we call a first-class temperament, which allowed him to see what was good in the character of others, and more importantly, to get them to work together. He built teams. And he gathered around himself colleagues who shared the vision of an education, convinced that no matter what your eventual occupational or professional goals, no matter what kind of degree or certificate you got, you were capable of and best served if you got that broad disciplinary education, that thing that wasn't supposed to be possible for folks unless they had grown up in rich families. His generation thought we were all capable of that. Some of us in this room very recently attended what is called the Higher Learning Commission Conference in Chicago last month, where we listened one day to the keynote speaker and author, a fellow that you might see on TV on Sunday mornings. His name is Fareed Zakaria. The point of his remarks was that you members, you folks in the class of 16, are still the beneficiaries of that most American of innovations, which is not as readily available in even the most advanced of other nations whom we often imagine are somehow ahead of us, but who actually, if you ask them, openly envy us for what we have in our colleges. That innovation is that very thing that Jefferson wanted, that very thing that we now call general education, that core of courses that populated so much of your degrees, whether you did like it or not. The writing, the math, the science, the humanities, the social science, and, oh my God, yes, even maybe some history. Much of that may not immediately have struck you as particularly relevant to what you imagine will be your first job. Perhaps it was the other courses that seemed so much more valuable. You're focused perhaps now on what will be your first job. But frankly, as Fareed Zakaria noted a few days ago, it was the mix of those general education courses. He says, when they are rigorous, and some of you don't like the fact that some of us are rigorous, it's when those general education courses are rigorous, that what we are doing is we're preparing you for your sixth job, not just your first job. Perhaps that sixth job, maybe even the third job, is going to be using technologies that don't even exist right now. You'll have jobs that don't exist right now, anywhere. That's what we're preparing you for. Sinclair Orendorff knew that. He got it right years before anybody named Fareed Zakaria had anything to say in readable little books. His colleagues got it right. The men and the women around him, whether they do or don't have buildings named after them, they understood this. Sinclair said to me on a number of occasions that what he valued was what he called the true college experience that would make you into the thinking person. And he battled with those who would compromise at all on that principle. Now, I apparently forgot to mention something. In the mix of courses was a category called government. Some of you are groaning out there right now. You had to take a class on the United States and Wyoming constitutions. How could I forget that? I'm one of those people that does that sort of thing. And why focus on that now in this moment when we are celebrating your achievement? It's because you will shortly, all of you, run off as those thinking people. You're going to be thinking citizens of this nation, or maybe you're not from the United States, but wherever you go, you will be thinking persons of either this republic or someone else's state. For those of you who will be somewhere as thinking persons in the vicinity of Wyoming, not necessarily in Wyoming, but the vicinity of Wyoming, there's some key points that I would make here, even on this day where we celebrate your achievements. It was the state of Wyoming, whether you're from Wyoming or not, that wisely committed resources to establish and support its community colleges. It took people like Sinclair Orndorff, who I will tell you was a Democrat, he will tell you that too, and his very close friend, Alan Simpson, whom if you know him, you know he's a Republican. And in the early part of his political career, he was a member of our board of trustees. It took people like Orndorff and Simpson working together to persuade the state at times to make that commitment. It didn't happen overnight, it didn't happen quickly, but it happened. Simpson later went on to be elected to the Wyoming State Legislature and then to the United States Congress. If you hang around in Cody, you might run into him in Albertsons or maybe in a hardware store, and he will talk your ear off. The best stories are the stories that Sinclair and Alan tell about each other. They can't stop giggling most of the time. But it's the state of Wyoming that kept tuition low by comparison to other states. We're still unusual in that in-state students pay only about 20% of what is the actual cost of their community college education. That's not true in most other states. Just go 20 miles north over the border in Montana and you'll find out that that's not true. Of course, many of us, including me, often complain about levels of support from the state. But the progress we gradually made was initiated by the work of Sinclair Orndorff and men like Alan Simpson and all the others, many of whom are still around. Again, Orndorff was a Democrat, and Simpson, as a now well-known Republican, they teamed up in political adventures with one another. People still talk rather colorfully at times about them and their adventures. It wasn't easy. It was never close to perfect. Frankly, folks, I will also ask you to understand something they knew and we need to remember now. We have generations of coal miners and oil field workers to thank for the tax revenues that paid the bills and built these colleges. But now, folks, as you might know, the legacy may be in danger. The vision of the Orndorffs and of the Simpsons could be forgotten in the midst of our current fiscal crisis. I submit to you that it cannot be the case that we or you in our time let that happen, or that we or you who benefited from the work and legacy of past generations can simply walk away, even with your degrees in your hands. I got mine, too bad for you. That cannot be our message. Cannot be your message. To those who will, even in the near future, need this college or Wyoming's community colleges in general. We did not include as part of your education the principles of American and Wyoming government so that we would all now flee what are our civic duties. Quite the opposite. And so, here's my challenge to you, class of 16. walk out of this gathering degree in hand. Please do. Congratulations. By all means, celebrate. Be sure to thank those who helped you get here today. Introduce them to us in the faculty and staff. Please, we need that more than I can possibly tell you. But then perhaps tomorrow, think about the importance of this opportunity you have experienced yourself here at Northwest College, and how it must remain a viable and affordable opportunity for future generations, maybe for your brothers, maybe for your sisters, maybe your own children, your neighbors' children. Use the mix of skills from your general education, those things Jefferson wanted you to have, those things Sinclair Orendorff was determined you would have. Use that mix of skills, even perhaps your knowledge of at least 2 constitutions, to make clear to our leaders that as hard as matters seem, make clear to our political leaders, as hard as things are now, the colleges of Wyoming are not the problem. They are the solution. Indeed, such colleges as ours are the solution to many problems in any state, not just Wyoming. Colleges like ours would be the solution to many problems in many countries. This is not a partisan challenge. Jefferson and Adams, like Orendorff and Simpson, belonged passionately to different and opposing political parties. Allen frequently speaks of the other party as the other faith. They worked on common ground, and especially if that ground was education. No, what I'm giving you here is an American challenge, and in meeting this challenge that I give you today, you help lay the new foundations for Wyoming's economic recovery. Remember those who built this place and why. Honor their wisdom. With that, I thank Sinclair Orendorff and all of those around him for their lifetimes of achievement. And I thank all of you for your attention, and I wish you all, on behalf of the faculty, the very best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. It gives me great pleasure to present the 2016 Distinguished Alumnus Award. This year's honored alumna was selected by a committee of current and former faculty and staff, 2 officers of the Northwest College Alumni Association Board, and today we honor Naparat Krenratanasut of Thailand as Northwest College's 2016 Distinguished Alumnus. Already possessing 2 law degrees from Bangkok universities when she arrived on campus, Naparat focused her Northwest experience on improving her English skills. Not only did she do so before graduating in 2014, she was competently writing for the student newspaper. Her impressive formal education after Northwest College includes a master's degree from Oklahoma City University, followed by 2 additional law degrees, a Master of Law in International and Legal Studies, and a Doctor of Judicial Science from American University, Washington College of Law in Washington, D.C. Today, she is a lecturer and researcher for the Institute of Human Rights and Peace Studies at Mahidol University in Thailand, and a legal consultant and board member for Anti-Slavery International Asia. Would Naparat's American family and friends please stand to be recognized, please? Naparat, please come forward and accept your award and address the graduates.
I have to do this first. This is my culture, if you don't mind. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my highest appreciation to the Northwest College Distinguished Alumni Selection Committee, the Board of Trustees, and the Alumni Association Board for giving me the Distinguished Alumnus Award and allowing me to share my impressions of Northwest College. For me, Northwest College is more than an academic institution because Northwest College contains the builders of creative thinkers. Yes, I'm talking about our Northwest College Ajahn. I call Ajahn in Thai language, followed by their names. For example, I will call Ajahn Harriet and Ajahn Richard Bloom Wilson, Ajahn Charlotte Patrick, Ajahn Joanne Rowe. All Northwest College Ajahn have shaped my critical thinking method and personality since 2003. You can say by looking at me how old I am. Here are some influential lessons I have learned from them. I call this lesson SAIL, S-A-I-L. It's not about sailboats. There are definitions of each letter. The first lesson is S, including self-respect and self-confidence. I would like to take this time to honor my respected professor who passed away many years ago, Dr. Jim Riley, who believed in me. I took many courses with him, including public speaking. I was nervous every time I had to give a presentation to my classmates, most of them native English speakers. One day, Ajahn Jim Riley approached me and cheered me up with a crucial lesson when he said, "Naparat, you can do everything you would like to do. Just have to be confident and respect yourself, and your practical plan will come." I have never forgotten that, particularly when I had a job interview in Thailand. I thought of his teaching. It worked. I was fearless. I just thought that I would like to share what I know, not compete with anybody, but myself. Fortunately, I got a position that still hold as a lecturer or teacher in a university in Thailand, at the university in Thailand. The second lesson is A, referring to acceptance of success. It's beautiful, right? But then including failure. After graduating with a Master of Mass Communications from Oklahoma City University, my career was not what I expected. I was disappointed with myself because I could not reach my career goal. So I feel discouraged and blame my poor abilities. I thought no one could understand my situation. But Ajahn Harriet Bloom Wilson told me that I was wrong. She told me that I should never let anyone discourage me just because I could not achieve what I expected. Failure actually will strengthen your life and soul. She was right. The more I fail, the more I learn to accept who I am and become resilient. Even though failure is so painful, but I'm not afraid of it. You know why? Because all failures give me valuable lessons. The third lesson is I, which stands for integrity or honesty. All Northwest College Ajahns taught me this reason through my writing practice. For instance, I learned from Ajahn Deb Colling, Ajahn Rob Stothard, Ajahn Dennis Davis, and Ajahn Bert Bradley that a good writer is like a good person. It means that I should not copy other people's work or take credit from others' idea without citations. I have applied their teaching with my first book called ASEAN and Human Trafficking, Case Studies of Cambodia, Thailand, and Vietnam. The fourth lesson is L, standing for love. Northwest College Ajahns and the people of Powell has always given me a warm welcome every time I have visited here. They have shown me how to love and care for others as if I were a part of their family. For instance, in the past I would say cooking oil. In my first year of college, nobody understood what I was saying. Many people thought I was making the sound of a pig. Can you guess what I was trying to say? All right, I will tell you later on. So Ajahn Harriet, think about it now, okay? Cooking oil. Ajahn Harriet and Ajahn Charlotte Patrick, Ajahn Joanne Rowe, and other Northwest College Ajahns could not leave this mistake uncorrected. They taught me how to pronounce it correctly. I practiced it sound for a year. Can you imagine cooking oil? Here it comes. Cooking oil. That's it. Thank you. It's easy for you, right? But it's not easy for international students like me. So I have to thank my Ajahns. For me, their love and care have never ended. They have always offered me their great advice and support. For instance, when I applied for MA in law school, Ajahn Harriet not only provided me a recommendation letter, but also emailed and called the staff to ensure that I would be admitted. Fortunately, I was able to study both for a Master of Law in International Legal Studies and a Doctor of Juridical Science degree, or SJD, at American University Washington College of Law in Washington, D.C. Presently, I am teaching human rights law and mechanism and human rights of marginalized groups of people at the Institute of Human Rights and Peace Studies at Mahidol University in my home country of Thailand. Until now, Ajahn Harriet, Ajahn Richards, Ajahn Joanne Rowe, and all Ajahn Northwest College still share their teaching tips with me. I wish to be a useful teacher like them. Well, these are my wonderful lessons that I've learned from them. What about you? Please find one, at least one, to take away with you. Oh, one more thing that our Northwest College Ajahn suggested to me. after my graduation is never lose your sense of humor, because it could encourage you no matter how many times you fail. You don't have to believe me. But I believe that you will also find it to be true. Congratulations, students, for your educational achievement. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Naparat. As I listened to you speak, I was thinking I wished your last name was Oil. I had to practice Kranratanasut for a long time too, so it was inspiring to hear me say that oil was a hard word for you. Thank you so much for your kind words today. I am now pleased to introduce Mr. Sam Jones from Parker, Colorado. He's a graphic design student and this year's Student Senate president. He and I have grown to have a special relationship this year due to his role as Student Senate president. Sam will now speak on behalf of the students.
It's really hot in here. At least we got a window open. Okay, so I'm Sam, and I'm better than you. Do I have your attention now? All right. So take a moment, look around, and step back from what is happening today to think and ponder. Are you aware of what's really happening today? You're alive, we're all alive, and we're all striving to find ways that will help us continue moving forward through this thing we call life. Today, as is every day, is a celebration of life. And that's the goal, to live, and it is something that unites all of us, not in just living, but in progressing while we live. In life, we all have a responsibility to write our own story, to find our own worth, and figure out what it means to live and be human. Life's purpose is to feel joy. But when we compare ourselves to others and obsess over superficial things, we'll always lose some of the blessings that life has to offer us. You don't need to spend time worrying about what others are doing. Become aware of yourself first, because what you have to offer the world is uniquely yours to give. Although, that's why I can say I'm better than you. No one has, is, or will live my life better than me. Do you understand how rare you are? You're 1 out of 7 billion plus living people on the earth. And to know that no one has walked in your shoes, seen what you've seen, changed the lives you've changed, and accomplished what you've accomplished in the way that you have, is truly amazing. So when you look in the mirror, find strength in that reflection, knowing that you are the best. There will never be another you. Take pride in that and be confident in the impact you've made and will make. Deepak Chopra said, "You must learn to get in touch with the innermost essence of your being. This true essence is beyond the ego. It is fearless. It is free. It is immune to criticism, does not fear any challenge. It is beneath no one, superior to no one, full of magic, mystery, and enchantment," close quote. Once you are humbly confident in who you are, with a sure belief in your potential and an awareness of yourself and the difference you can make, only then can you really lift others up and find happiness in success. An essential component of success is self-esteem, believing you can do it, believing you deserve it, and believing you'll get it. Paul Hawken, an environmentalist, said, "Don't be put off by people who know what is not possible. Do what needs to be done and check to see if it was impossible only after you are done." He also said, "Everything is connected. No one thing can change by itself." Close quote. So don't be blind to your ability to make a difference in changing life, because you already have. Every one of you in here today has either directly or indirectly changed my life, my world, for the better. Without you, I wouldn't be where I am today, so thank you. We're all connected, not just us, but all people. We're all a part of something special, and that's what makes life beautiful. Different people with different backgrounds, beliefs, and desires, coming together, uniting in ways to serve and make life better for each other. I'm not going to change the world, but I will change lives and their worlds. Some dream of changing the world. It's not the world that needs to change. It's the way we see and approach it. We should all have dreams, passions, and goals to achieve great things. Dreams are important, but sometimes I don't think they're sufficient. I believe a dream is what helps you find the drive, the passion. Your passion isn't necessarily what your contribution is. It is being realistic with yourself that helps you make the climb towards reaching your goals. In Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, Marlowe says, "I don't like work. No man does, and especially me. But I like what is in the work, the chance to find yourself," close quote. If you're realistic with yourself and continually work hard, an awareness of your limitations and potential of what you can achieve will be found. Don't be afraid or sell yourself short, though. There's always a way and people willing to help you reach your goals. That's why Northwest is such a special place. We came to Northwest with an idea of what we wanted out of life. Then there were those at the college who saw our potential, took us under their wing, showed us what is possible. I couldn't thank the faculty enough for the selfless hours. For the selfless hours they spent on my behalf to help me become better. All of you have helped me realize not to just dream about great things, but to go out and achieve great things. And as many of you have done, I've given everything I could to this college, but I've gained so much more than I've given. I want you all to know I'm humbled for this opportunity to be here, and in having had the opportunity to meet you and share life with you. We are the future, and the future is now. You all have greatness within you, so don't just sit dreaming about doing great things. Go out, create your own reality, and achieve great things. Thank you. I love you guys.
Thank you, Sam. Well done, my friend. You've achieved great things this year, and I'm very proud of you. We now recognize 2 students who earned All Wyoming Academic Team Awards from Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. Northwest College recipients this year were 2 of only 9 students chosen for statewide awards. Graduating sophomores Elijah Ben Yasso and Mackenzie Beck, please join me on the platform to accept your award. Elijah Ben is a psychology major from Lovell, Wyoming, and Mackenzie majors in political science, and she is also from Lovell. Elijah Ben and Mackenzie, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Northwest College, congratulations on receiving these very impressive state awards.
My congratulations to Neparat Krenratanasu on her Distinguished Alumnus Award. I thank Professor Tulin for his early remarks on behalf of the faculty and for serving as Chief Marshal for today's ceremony. Special thank you to our student speaker, Sam Jones, and all Wyoming Academic Team Award recipients Elijah Ben Hasu and Mackenzie Beck. My thanks to the Northwest Graduation Brass Ensemble for the music this morning. Graduates, please rise and remain standing until after President Hickswa confers your degrees. President Hickswa, Trustee Housel, students assembled here today are candidates for degrees of Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Science, and Northwest College certificates. We are very proud of them. On behalf of the faculty, I am pleased to recommend these graduates for their respective degrees and certificates. I present to you the class of 2016.
Upon certification by the faculty and the power vested in me by the Northwest College Board of Trustees, I take great pride in conferring upon you the Associate of Arts degree, the Associate of Science degree, the Associate of Applied Science degree, and certificates. You may now move your tassels to the left. Graduates of 2016, welcome to a distinguished group, the alumni of Northwest College. Congratulations. You may be seated. Vice President Gerard and Humanities Division Chair Burt Bradley will now read the names of the graduates as they come to the platform. Graduates will be assisted to the platform by Agriculture, Business, and Equine Division Chair Vern Dooley, and off the platform by Social Science and Education Division Chair Dave Erickson. Members of the Board of Trustees will present your diplomas. Will the first row of graduates please come forward and approach the podium?
Christopher Pinkowski. Sam Jones. Joshua Butts. Mackenzie Beck. Elizabeth Hasso. Jessica Clem. Alex Ackerman. Elia Aguilar, honors. Mallory Alsop, honors. Skylar Scott Jones, Allen. Wyatt Anderson, honors. Julian Akama, honors. Ryan Ryan Ani. Nicole Ayers. Darren Ballard, honors. Leslie Ballard, honors. Cassie Bogus. Taylor Bell, honors. Veronica Belston, honors. Edward Asamoah. Leslie Berg, honors. Tenet Bernstein, honors. Eileen Babinski. Caddy Boline. Jordi Bongungo. Marco Borgia. Austin Brost. Aaron Bueller, honors. Mark Bullinger. Samuel Burpo, honors. Zachary Capps. David Carpenter. Jarelli Castro, Phi Theta Kappa. Abigail Serta. Christian Sharoni. Chihong Cho. Zeb Christensen. Robert Cobbler. Whispering Coleman. Dottie Calling. Jesse Connor. Brooke Connors. Samantha Conroy Rosdahl. Felipe Contreras. Cato Cormia, honors. Batista Cavolo. Susan Cross, honors. Ruth Ann Cups. Katie Cuprack. Bill Doherty, honors. Grant Davis. Osvaldo Denez. Ashley Dern. Aubrey Donaldson. Alessandra Georgievich. Bryant Dorn. Morgan Downs. Reese Durham, honors. Eric Dye, honors. Lila Engel. Tara Ellie, honors. Gabriel Escobedo. Liam Esparson. Claire Feathers, honors. Andrew Ferguson. Barbara Fidelis de Souza. Chloe Fields. Jamie Fleming. Jade Garcia. Courtney Garrison. Jacob Garza. Stephen Gates. Lisa Gaughan, honors. Garrison Gillard. Mohammed Goklanov. Nicole Gonzalez. Alex Good. Kenneth Good. Jessica Gordon, honors. Renee Gordon, honors. Josie Gordon. Elizabeth Halstead. Max Hammond, honors. Tyler Harris. Brianna Harvey, honors. Whitney Hatch. Danica Hayes. Jeffrey Hyken, honors. Krista Hines. Emily Herrera, honors. Cassandra Hessling, honors. Olivia Hills. Amanda Jimenez. Travis Hopkins. Ellen Hunsacker. Patrick Hunter. Kayla Hutt. Satsuki Ito. Shauna Jensen. Caitlin Jewell. Morgan Jones. Larissa Johnson, honors. Jessica Kammerer. Larissa Knight, honors. Carter Krantz. Warren Crone. Yaroslava Kripak. Christopher Kuntz, honors.
Wei Jung Yilam. Samantha Lanchberry. Caitlin Lang. Megan Lacey. Mandy Linhart. Jessica Lewis. Victor Lewis. Bilal Majur. Megan Mangus. Megan Mangus. Michelle Martinson. Miranda Martinez. Michaela McCloy. Andrea McClure. Marque McIntosh. Anna Mendez. Juliana Mendez. Sean Manel. Daniel Milota. Taylor Moles. Amy Molina. Kenneth Moncour. Ryan Montgomery. Guadalupe Aguilar Morales, honors. Jacob Morrow, honors. Sierra Morrow, honors. Wendell Mickey. Mary Easton Myers. Neto. Kennedy Neto. Isla Newman. Dao Nyo. Jean Nyo. Nyan Nguyen. Jacob Nicholson, honors. Shelby Nicholson, honors. Grant Nichols, honors. Samuel Niklacek. Rachel Nixon. Michael Northrup. Camille Oman. Casey Olison. Shelby Olson. Cassidy Partridge. Jessica Patterson. Megan Patton, honors. Savannah Perringer. Eduardo Penha. Levi Peterson. Trang Pham, honors. Aubrey Porter, honors. Leonard Pugsley. Lori Quaid. Jamie Rackness, honors. Marisa Reeder, honors. Cassie Renner, honors. Thank you. Dina Rhodes, honors. Casey Rich. Trying to fool me, huh? August Richards. Allison Richardson. Lori Riesland. William Robertson, honors. Jordan Rude. Chandler Rose. Keilani Sagapulo. You guys are killing me. Lilia Sangatulina. Mackenzie Schneider. Hi, Mackenzie. Samantha Schubring. Erica Shaw, honors. Rebecca Shelton. Ginger Schenefelt, honors. Just wait a second. Sierra Shoemaker, honors. Hi. Corey Siggins, honors. Emily Skinner. Hayden Smith, honors. Aspen Smith, honors. Eric Spomer. Kennelyn Stamsted, honors. Haley Stauffer, honors. Summer Steele. Tyler Sterner. Haley Strom. Colton Strong. Brittany Swalstad. Hannah Sweet. Theodora Tepovic. Tabitha Terrell. Thank you. Molly Yersele. Eden Valden, honors. Jacqueline Van Noy, honors. Natasha Vega. Brooke Vincent. Heng Wang. Got it. Amanda Weiss, honors. Victoria Wessel, honors. How are you, sir? Sam White. Moshe Williams. Annika Williams. Beautiful. Fonda Williams. Lisa Winters, honors. Please join us in congratulating the graduating class of 2016.
Graduates, on behalf of the Northwest College Board of Trustees, we congratulate each and all of you on receiving your diplomas and your certificates. As graduates of this special place known as Northwest College, you are now members of an exclusive worldwide club, the Northwest College Alumni Association. You now join more than 22,000 alumni of Northwest College, and you can be assured that we will keep in touch with you because you and all of you are a very important part of this special place we call Northwest College. And I know it's been a long morning. This is wool. Yours is maybe a little lighter than mine, but we only have a few more minutes. Before we leave, however, I would like to share with you the immortal words of Max Ehrmann in his poem, Desiderata. These words were penned by Mr. Ehrmann over 90 years ago, and they are as fitting now as they were then. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible and without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth clearly and quietly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons, for they are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself to others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans, and keep interested in your career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery, but let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Be yourself. Especially, do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love, for in the face of aridity and disenchantment it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth, and nurture your strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with imaginings, for many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, keep peace within yourself. Keep peace within yourself. And whatever your dreams and your aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your world. For all its sham and drudgery and broken promises, it is still indeed a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy. And now, in closing, I remind you that there is now a reception for you graduates and your guests, which will be in the lower floor of the DeWitt Student Center. Thank you all for joining us on this special occasion. Please remain standing during the recessional, and graduates, please follow our platform party as we exit the building. Congratulations, good luck, go Trappers!